Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it now for 1 minute. Now for 1 second. Don't doubt God. Don't doubt God for 1 second. And that's what they're trying to make you do. Do not buy it. Don't buy it. They're false. I made a video called They're All in It Together. And they are. Look at them. They're all in it together. One big old stage show. You know, and I just made a video said that they're going to collapse the dollar on Donald Trump. You know, you read the verses. You know, you believe God and you stick with God. You might be questioning, like, what the hell is happening? I mean, we believed all this time Obama was the Antichrist. We believe Obama was this and Obama was that. He's the king of the South, and he's supposed to wage war against the king of the North. And he wasn't supposed to fulfill his term. Like, what's going on? What's going on? You know, who's to say he not still running everything? Who's to say he not still running everything?
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. He has been very threatening beyond a normal statement. And as I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
Hello everyone, once again, it's me, Shannon Johnson, bold soldier for Christ, watchman on the wall for the Lord. Want to share a quick dream with you guys that the Lord gave me last night. Donald Trump and President Barack Obama were looking at all of the protests and the riots that were taking place through this monitor. And I heard Donald Trump tell Obama, I'm handing the power over to you, or something like, I can't handle it, you take control.
Time magazine almost every day, New York Times, Washington Post. Why? What are they so scared of? It's because I've studied history. I'm not asleep at the wheel. Other people act like they're experts on black ops, government subterfuge, regime change. I've actually been studying it since I was about 10 years old because I just lucked into history books, thought it was fascinating, and have read probably 1,000 history books conservatively, most of them about war, military, naval strategy, both from antiquity and then even in modern times. So a lot of people pose like they're learned in government. I actually am, and I'm a private citizen. So they have this headline in Newsweek on Friday, Deep State's going to kill the president, Alex Jones claims. Then it shows nowhere from the very broadcast I did where I played Al Gore saying the president's going to be removed the next 2 months, or Brennan saying he's going to be removed the next few months and it's not going to be from impeachment. And you can't remove him with a grand jury. And then you've got all the people saying kill him, remove him, COG, use continuity of government, declare him a Russian agent, incapacitate him, neutralize him. And our congressional sources say that means kill. Secret Service has even visited some of our sources after they've come on. And the sources say, go talk to Al Gore. Go talk to all these people that are publicly saying it. But see, as a bureaucracy, they don't want to actually stop it from happening. They want to act like they did everything they were supposed to before it happens because they've been basically ordered off of really protecting the president. And that's why the president's got his own military protectors. And I'm not going to even get into that. I'm going to stop right there. And then they write an article saying, out of the blue, Jones is saying this exists. Now, why do they do that? Because they don't want a debate about it. They want to try to steal the nomination quietly. They want to try to steal the electors and not let him be seated quietly. Remember all that? And then finally, we cover it in Pelosi's daughter a day after I was told. They had a Justice Department meeting where Pelosi ordered Lynch to have me indicted for psychological terrorism and all this stuff. And I thought it was crazy. And the next day she goes out on Fox News and says, Alex Jones has death threatened me. He needs to be arrested. Never threatened her in any way. And then it was in Obama's executive order about 2 weeks later. And then it was in Obama's executive order about 2 weeks later. Early January, he says, we're going to shut down the alternative media. We're going to have new elections. We're not going to let Trump be seated as the president. We're going to have new elections. And it was all done, but they choked because they don't run the entire military or the entire FBI or the, quote, deep state.
You know, all the crazy shit that I've been talking about since I've been on YouTube. The only thing that's really creeped me out more than anything is when I had that vision of seeing that angel of light, which I later found out that was Obama. It wasn't creepy based on what I saw. It was how I felt that evil presence. I talked about basically being a super empath, where I can basically feel the emotions of everybody on earth. So seeing that angel of lights and everything that I went through, that wasn't the problem. The problem was I could actually feel the presence. I mean, just pure fucking evil. And of course, talking about the dragon, motherfucking Godzilla, it's the same situation. Seeing that motherfucker wasn't the problem. I could actually feel that presence. I mean, it's just pure fucking evil. And of course, it's the same fucking shit. That evil presence, you know, feeling that shit is just fucking horrible. And when I made that last video talking about Godzilla, I forgot to actually talk about the last vision that I had of him, because the vision was real short. And I was talking about the other times that I seen the motherfucker. But when I did see him the last time, because in this video, I just put the captions in there saying that I seen the motherfucker again. But the last time what happened when I seen this motherfucker, the reason why the shit creeped me out the way it did, it was because I was like in this warehouse. And I was like I was walking on this ramp inside this warehouse. And I was real high off the ground. And, you know, Godzilla, that motherfucker is pretty fucking tall. But I was real high up in the air while I was walking on that ramp. And it was like, let's say I might have been like 10 or 15 feet higher than Godzilla is when it comes to his height. So while I was walking down the ramp, I looked over my shoulder and shit. And I could see this motherfucker. And like I said, I'm like 10 or 15 feet higher than he is. And I saw the motherfucker out the corner of my eye, and he's walking and shit, looking at me and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, that ain't what creeped me out. What creeped me out was I could feel that horrible, evil presence. I mean, and like I said, it's the same fucking feeling that I had when I saw that angel of lights, Obama. So he's gonna get that fucking full brunt of that motherfucking spirit. You know, Satan being cast down and things of that nature in the book of Revelations. And this shit that just happened with this fake ass eclipse. You know, Satan's people, like I said, they just got some of that fucking energy. And some of that energy that they had, their own essence, it was taken away at the same time. Obama, the angel of light, the dragon, it's the same fucking evil. and talking about this before with this so-called eclipse. You know, these people who don't believe in Christ, they just got a fresh dose of that shit. And I was just sitting here thinking, it's pretty much like a trade-off, because at the same time they receive that energy that I'm always talking about, that demonic shit. At the same time they receive that shit, energy is being taken away from them. I talked about before how the Illuminati will do a lot of things, and they want us to know about it. They want that attention so they can suck the energy out of it. So not only did they suck the energy out of a lot of people, that energy that they took from them was replaced with that shit that happened during this so-called eclipse. You know, it's like a part of them is being taken away, and they're in the process of becoming one with Satan. But obviously, when Satan is truly cast down and all that process goes along, you talking about that shit is gonna be specifically for the Antichrist, motherfucking Obama. I was sitting here thinking about years ago I seen this video when they was talking about this so-called Christ figure showed up in Kenya, Maitreya. And at the same time this motherfucker showed up was the exact same time that Obama was there.
According to Share International and the Swahili edition of the Kenya Times, Maitreya made an appearance June 11, 1988, to a local congregation in Nairobi, Kenya. The editor of the Swahili edition of the Kenya Times, a veteran journalist named Job Matungi, witnessed the event and took some pictures. A summary of his article as it appeared in his newspaper is as follows, quote, "The tall figure of a barefooted, white-robed and bearded man appeared from nowhere and stood in the middle of the crowd. He was walking slowly towards the new church building, away from the tent. Mary walked with him side by side. I stared at the stranger without blinking, wafted on top of his turbaned head, his feet, and his entire body. In clear Swahili, which had no traces of accent, the strange man announced that the people of Kenya were blessed, especially those who had gathered at the venue that afternoon. We are nearing the time of the reign of heaven, but before that I shall come back and bring a bucket full of blessings for all of you," the man said. A bucket full of blessings is a reference to the astrological symbol for the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is depicted as a man carrying a pitcher of water in the zodiac. But continuing with the article, quote, "It took the crowd nearly 20 minutes to recover after the man left the meeting in a car belonging to a Mr. Gurnam Singh, who offered to give him a lift. But it will probably take Mr. Singh his lifetime to recover from the shock he got 2 minutes later. On reaching the bus terminus, the man informed Mr. Singh to stop the car. On getting out, he walked a few paces beside the road and simply vanished into thin air."
And, you know, there's been a lot of stories about where Obama was really born and all this shit. So at the same time, this Maitreya character showed up. Obama just happened to be in Kenya. And of course, there's a lot of debate on whether this is really Obama and all that shit. But that motherfucker looked just like him. And talking about having the vision of the angel of lights, they had a clip in that video I watched where it was supposedly that same Maitreya character dancing around these people as an angel of light. Now, whether that shit is real or not, surely is one hell of a coincidence.
The following is a video taken in Iraq at a Shia Muslim festival. Share International and Benjamin Krem have put out that this is indeed an appearance of Maitreya, the supposed world teacher for the age of Aquarius, one world government. Commenting on this video, Share International reports, quote, Imam Mahdi, unexpected appearance, proclaims the title of a video posted on YouTube. A miraculous figure of glowing brilliant white light appeared on a video filmed in Karbala, Iraq, on the night of Ashura, 6 January 2008. This Shia Muslim ceremony commemorates the martyrdom of the grandson of the Prophet, Hussein, whose tomb is in Karbala. Benjamin Krem's master confirms that the light figure is Maitreya, Imam Mahdi to the Muslims, and that his dance-like movements with a sword remind us of his coming with the sword of cleavage. Could this be real, or is it a hoax? Is Maitreya real, or is he a hoax? Whatever the case may be, it turns out that it is not only New Agers and occultists who believe in this Maitreya, but politicians, presidents, and elitists also follow Maitreya.
I've been warning people about this nigga since I've been on YouTube. And I'm not the only one, but obviously it's like, okay. Like I always say, what more can I say? I'm not gonna keep making no motherfucking videos trying to convince these niggas who the fuck this nigga really is. You know, it is what it is, like I always say.
Since Jiddu Krishnamurti, featured in Zeitgeist Addendum, failed as the world teacher responsible for ushering in the Age of Aquarius one world system, Theosophists, Freemasons, and occultists have been waiting for their world teacher since then. Well, on January 9th, 1959, a student of Alice Bailey and Blavatsky, who was already familiar with the doctrine of the Ascended Masters, Benjamin Krem, would come into contact with powerful forces who would appoint him to introduce Maitreya, the world teacher, to humanity. Krem's first experience is as follows. On January 3rd, 1959, Krem became possessed by an energy, and a message from an outside force said to him, "Go to Blackfriars Bridge, south side, Blackheath side, on January 9th, 9:30 p.m. So on January 9th, 1959, Benjamin Krem followed these instructions and crossed Blackfriars Bridge in London, walking to the south side. There was no one about. It was deserted. There was a car waiting at the far end of the bridge. He walked beside the car and looked inside of it. There were some people in it who he did not know, but one of them was a man who told him he had been receiving messages from the Ascended Masters. From there, Krem started receiving messages again from this force, who he now believed were these Ascended Masters that Theosophy invented. This entity told Krem to pull out his tape recorder. It began giving Krem long dictations, which he repeated into the tape recorder. The entity said, "Now our master Maitreya himself has something important to tell you." Krem then claimed to be overshadowed by Maitreya, this leader of the Ascended Masters. In a sense, he was possessed by Maitreya. Krem claims that the experience was that of total identification with everything and everybody in the world, a kind of universal experience such as he had never felt. He was filled with a foreign tremendous energy. Krem claimed to have seen a vision of himself in the future, as well as Maitreya, the world teacher, who ushers in the Age of Aquarius, one world system. Later he was instructed that he would help introduce Maitreya to the world. Since then, Krem started an organization called Share International. They have a website as well. It is aimed at promoting Maitreya and the teachings of Theosophy and the New Age. Krem admitted that he was influenced by Helena Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, quote, "To many today, this awareness includes the recognition of higher states of consciousness attained by those who make up the emerging spiritual kingdom, the masters and initiates of the world. Their existence was first revealed in modern time by H.P. Blavatsky, co-founder of the Theosophical Society, as long ago as 1875.
I think that what Blavatsky wrote down, even by her own admission, was not written by a ascended master, and I don't think that ascended masters exist. She was being deceived, regardless of what we think. We have to at least believe her and the others involved in the high levels of the Theosophic movement, that what they got, the core levels, their secret doctrine, was given to them by off-world entities. The research becomes, who are these off-world entities? And this is the other part of that research. Is what those entities said true or not? I understand that it's very poetic. It's very easy and seductive to believe, because when you read some of her stuff or some of the other stuff that's written directly from demonic entities, it's extremely seductive. We must understand that these beings are thousands of years older than us, and they're very smart. We're no match for them. The smartest of us are no match for the intellect of them, but their desire is to deceive us.
In the moonlight, will you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.